Hello, welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. Let's get right to your reading. I had to restart, so I already have the basics down. Let's just dive right in. The overall energy of your reading is the Nine of Swords in reverse. Looks like you're getting out of a nightmare. It looks like you've been in a situation very confusing, waking up from a nightmare and then being in a nightmare. And it looks like with the Nine of Swords upright, we have this pillow here. And even though this is a nightmare, there's some level of comfort. So it feels like you tolerated a nightmare scenario because there was some comfort. Maybe it was familiar to be in a nightmare situation and you didn't. It feels like it's hard to leave. Yeah, it feels like to stay in this environment, you had to abandon yourself. Feels like to stay in this nightmare situation, you abandoned yourself and it created a lot of instability. Feels like there's also some financial worries here. There might also be physical financial difficulties, maybe even some physical difficulties after living in an environment, staying in an environment that is wrecking your nervous system, where you have to become the smallest version of yourself to stay here. Wow, this feels so uncomfortable. There's a lot of heartbreak in this energy. Wow, jeez. This is a lot of discomfort, pain that you're working through. Wow, it feels like you're leaving this behind. Oh, it looks like you have finished some type of transformation from these energies. And something that you've been focusing on is starting to pay off. So it feels like it almost feels like you're ending. I'm surprised the World card hasn't shown up. It feels like there's an ending and a beginning here. You're leaving behind a lot of having to be small, of staying in a very painful environment where you're not allowed to show up as fully as yourself, where you have to stay in this environment. You have to show up as a version of yourself that I don't even feel like in this environment you liked yourself. Like maybe there's also a resentment that the people in this environment can't see you, can't appreciate you in your fullness. Feels like you've transformed, but there are people around you who have not transformed. And I think instead of continuing to stay in an environment like this, that's too small for you, there's no happiness, it feels like you're kind of being evicted from this timeline. Wow, that's a lot. It feels very stuck energy, and trying to stay in an environment and make it successful when it's an unsuccessful environment. It doesn't work for you. Wow. All right, the hidden blessings is Three of Pentacles. It looks like now there was something here in the original message about something you've been working on is paying off. Wow. Okay. It looks like you're getting out of a stuck kind of space. And you're going from Three of Pentacles to Ten of Pentacles. Wham! This is the happily ever after. This is a lot of abundance. This is legacy type of energy. It looks like you're building legacy type of stability and abundance. So it feels like you've got this, you're wanting this abundance, but it's not just for you. It feels like you're creating something new as structures and are falling apart. You are creating something new in this environment. Wow, very exciting. And it looks like hidden blessings right now are around work, around finances, around stability, loyalty. There's also this going after working on something that you enjoy. It feels like you have figured out how to show up more as yourself around work, and by being yourself, the natural side effect of authentically showing up as yourself, being aligned, is blessings and abundance. Wow. What you're leaving behind, this is the second Three of Swords in reverse. You're leaving behind heartbreak, betrayal. Feels like you might have a pattern of wanting love from someone who doesn't like you, doesn't feel that way. Feels like that might have been from your childhood, trying with a parent maybe who didn't like you, that and as a child you're dependent on your parents for your survival, and so not being liked is a threat to your survival. And so it looks like you had some strategies, some coping strategies of chasing after and bending yourself in ways and contorting to show up in a way to please people. And it looks like you're realizing that that does not serve you, that that's an old pattern from childhood that had some effective ability, it was effective in childhood, but it's not your job as an adult to please everybody. It is everybody's responsibility to take care of their own feelings. And it feels like you were made to be responsible for how others feel. Anyway, yeah, you were made to carry the burden of everybody's emotions. Like, I'm having a bad day, and so it's your problem. Since I'm having a bad day and you're in my environment, it's your fault. And so it feels like people have made you responsible. It's an unconscious agreement, and it looks like you're done with that. You're tired of waiting for it to be your time. It feels like you are healing and leaving behind a lot of childhood wounds, and you're starting this new beginning without the pain, without the deception, and you want happiness. It looks like you have learned a lot from your past about what doesn't make you happy, and it feels like you are following your own guidance. That's very empowering. That's beautiful. All right, how to get the most of this energy is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Feels like this is internal work. That right now, even though it feels like a lot's happening in the 3D, blessings coming in around work, it feels like Feels like you've put in a lot of energy around abundance and stability, and it almost feels like it's if this is resonating with you, that we're already past like a choice point. It feels faded, or very the potentials for this windfall. It feels like there's a lot of abundance. Something is about to really shift, and it doesn't feel like you have to do anything more. To not like, I'm not going to do anything, not that, but there's nothing. It feels like you're headed towards some point. Let's see if I can get closer to that. It's just, it feels like you're headed towards a portal, and on the other side of that is a big shift around your abundance, around having the stability and financial security that you can make have a freedom in the moves that you make. There's something that you're very good at, and I think you're showing yourself how powerful you are as a creator. Wow, that's really beautiful. It doesn't feel like there's anything that you need to do. It feels like if this is resonating, you were just flowing into whatever this abundant energy is. And again, wow, what's supporting you is this Ten of Pentacles energy. This isn't just financial abundance. I was just giving a reading, and I was talking about how I've seen people who are very abundant, very financially, they're rich. They're rich. What can I say? They've got lots of money, but they don't have stability. They have, I mean, redonkulous amount of money, but no stability. And so financial abundance does not always equate stability. What I'm perceiving here is that you've created stability within yourself, and as a side effect of that is you're just getting abundance. And it feels like you're building something that's very lasting. It's past your experience here. It looks like your legacy, like you're consciously wanting to leave something behind for those who follow. Wow. So, and it looks like there are a lot of energies who agree with us, who want to support your vision of growth. A lot of these are in the non-physical. A lot of these energies are, wow, creator gods and goddesses. Whoever, angels, it looks like, ancestors. It looks like a lot of people enjoy this vision that you have as well. A lot of beings in non-physical energies are supporting you. I think there's a lot of anxiety that's coming up around this, around stability and security. And what I'm seeing is as you move towards and create the stability, there are fears and anxieties coming up and to be processed, to be worked through, not to stop you. What is this? It does look like as a bonus to what's happening here is that those who try to block you from having this abundance are being it's like you're showing them. You're not trying to tell them that they're wrong. You're not trying to tell others, trying to convince people that what's been said about you is incorrect. Instead, you're just like, hold my beer. I guess I'm just going to have to show them how it's done. And that's what this is. It's showing up in the 3D, and it's making this, it feels like you've had people who've felt very confident in blocking you, that that somehow that was permittable, but now here you have all these non-physical guides, energies around you who are excited to co-create with you what you want to build and leave behind long after your experience here is finished. And it looks like those who try to block you are blocked themselves. It does, what's this? Yeah, it looks like right now relationships are very confusing, are a bit of a challenge right now. But what I'm seeing is more of like stability. You're working on ground floor, creating a foundation that you can build upon. Wow. All right, what to be mindful of in this energy is your fears and anxieties, worries, getting to you, getting up in your noggin, and overthinking, trying to think your way out of a situation, or allowing others' fears to get in the way. This reminds me of a friend last night I was talking to, and I'm moving. Surprise, I'm getting ready to move in the next couple weeks, and so is my friend. And he's moving in about a month after I move. And he was worried because someone that he works with was telling him a story about, like, oh, you're moving there? Oh, gosh. There's not as much sunlight as there is here, and so there's a lot higher suicide rates, and it's constantly raining. And so he was like, crap. After talking to his colleague, he was anxious and worried and questioning the direction he was moving in. And he asked me, what I thought. And I said, I think your friend, that's where your friend is. They're just kind of in a darker, scarier place, and everything looks sad to them. I don't think this person purposely wanted to block someone from going after what they desire, but just as a side effect of where that person is, they project fear onto everything, and so that gives them an excuse to not go after what they want. And so once I explained that to this person, that's that person's energy in your space, and that's not your beliefs, though. That's not yours. And he was like, you're right. Oh my gosh, that's exactly how I was feeling. I kept talking to myself like, I've achieved this, I've gone here, and everything's always worked out. So he was trying to figure out, he was realizing, wait a minute, this isn't my fears. This isn't my anxiety. I know and trust in what I'm drawn to, what I go to. I have a history of that. And so it was nice to validate. So it feels like that's what's going on here, that not to allow others' fears. A lot of people are afraid to make moves, whether it's they're afraid to move, literally, or to make moves. And unintentionally, or sometimes intentionally, these fearful people will project onto others. And so if others don't make really difficult moves, then they don't have to make moves either. Then they feel okay and kind of stay small. So it feels like that's what you're moving away from. That's where you started, staying in some place, a comfort zone, even though it was a never ending nightmare. And people, these aren't bad people. They're just, it feels like it's a remnant of an older version of you, an energy of an anxious version of you that's afraid to leave a comfort zone. Even though there's pain and betrayal and you can't be yourself, it feels like old versions of you are showing up with messages like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to go after? What if you fail? Like all these, and it feels like you're leaving that aspect of you behind. That's and realizing what's yours and what's not yours. Wow. All right, that's your reading for today. I hope that's helpful. Take care.